All right, John, you can go ahead.
Brandon, DJ Stewart was pretty proud of the two-strike approach and just kind of how he started his spring. Is that what you're looking for out of him?
A homer and a line drive? Yeah, no, he swung the bat really well today. He dropped the barrel on a slider from Nola and got the ball up in the air to right field. And then he smoked that ball to right field also in his second at bat. So I thought he had really good at bats. I was pleased with Austin Hayes' at bats. I thought we took better at bats today than we did yesterday, and faced a good starter today too, with some good arms behind him. So pretty good offensive day.
Rich, you're up.
Hey, Brandon, what was your reading on Jorge Lopez? Tough first inning there.
Yeah, I just thought he was missing location the first inning. A lot of times in these first outings in spring, guys can be a little bit over amped, maybe don't quite have the normal feel, just because they're anxious to get out there. And it looked like, to me, that's how he looked in the first inning. He was just a little trying to do too much, a lot of yanks with his fastball. And in the second inning, I thought he really kind of calmed down and was in the strike zone more often, made more quality pitches.
Joe Trezza, you're up.
Brandon, DJ was saying that even though he has a good eye, that he believes that there's room for him to be more aggressive, especially early in counts. Do you think that's true? And do you think he could be more productive if he kind of toes that line or kind of balances those two things?
Well, yeah, I like guys to be aggressive on balls they can handle on hittable strikes early in the count. And yeah, I can think DJ at times can because he can do so much damage. I think that he can be a little too patient at times. But yeah, I was really happy with his approach today. I laid off some tough pitches. I like the two-strike approach, and I like the swings he took.
John, you're up again.
You had a few guys out there who haven't pitched in games in a long time, but at the end, the Rule 5 picks, Roller and Wells. What did you see from them?
I think the same thing that with Lope there in the first inning. I just thought they were really excited to get out on the mound. Maybe trying to impress, maybe a little too much. You think you saw Scarola with that curveball there to strike out Miller, that last pitch. He was kind of cutting it off the hitters prior, probably trying to do too little much with it, and then kind of settled into the inning and did a nice job of escaping trouble. Same with Wells, and that walked the leadoff hitter, and then kind of settled down and made some better pitches after that. So, like I said, a lot of time guys, their first outing, don't have great feel yet and are a little too pumped up, and both guys settled down well into their innings.
Rich, go ahead.
Tomorrow you have John Means. Who else do you have going?
I don't have that with me. Sorry, Rich.
Trezza, you're up.
And what did you think of Lowther, and how much of him do you want to see this spring?
Yeah, we're going to give Lowther a long look. He's a guy that's had a really nice minor league career up until this point, put up some great numbers, and like to see how that translates up here. I thought that it's going to, I thought his fastball command was a little bit iffy today, and that's something that he needs to be sharp with to be effective. And today it was just a little bit erratic, but like I said, it's his first outing in big league camp and for this year, and he'll get a lot more appearances.
All right, that wraps things up with Brandon. Thanks, Brandon.
Okay, thanks.
See you everyone tomorrow. All right, we can get things started. John Muley, if you want to lead us off, you can go ahead.
TJ, a couple days ago, you mentioned some of the things you wanted to do differently at the plate. Was there anything that contributed to your at-bats today that might not have happened last year if you didn't put in that work?
Probably. I mean, the biggest takeaway of today, first two at-bats, they were both with two strikes. So just kind of shortening up, putting it in play. I know we talked about hitting the ball to all parts of the fields, but felt like I did a good job of hitting those pitches where they were located and putting it in play. Austin did a great job in the one hole, getting on base for me to make my job easier. So I was just trying to honestly move him over and make something happen.
Steve Molesky, you can go ahead.
DJ, how do you balance things you need to do in Florida to get ready for a long season with trying to be impressive enough to win a job to start the season in Baltimore?
Just getting in my work. The days that I'm playing, obviously getting in work, and then the days that I'm not playing, going on the backfields and just getting extra reps and just getting everything out of myself and pushing myself to that next level to just go out there and make sure I can perform for the games. But the real work comes on the days that I'm not actually playing.
Joe Trezza, you're up.
DJ, you mentioned this. I want to follow up on something you said to John's question. You mentioned your two-strike approach. Do you feel in general that you want to make more contact? Because you're a guy who has struck out a little bit, but also walks a lot. So how do you balance that?
Yeah, it's actually it's a weird concept. I was actually talking to Don the last couple of days about it. Is yes, I know I have a good eye, but there's also sometimes early in the count that I'm a little bit too selective, I feel like, and I know that I can do damage with those pitches, but I'm also comfortable hitting with 2 strikes. But sometimes you get the nastier stuff with 2 strikes. So it's a balanced thing that I'm kind of trying to work on in this spring training, is to be aggressive early, but also shorten it up and putting it in play, trying to do the job. Today was a good day for me, but I know, it's going to continue to be a task that I'm working on every single day.
John Mioli again.
DJ, it's interesting you mentioned, that the work you do in between the games you play is the important stuff. For somebody on the outside who might not understand, why do you think that stuff is more important than, a game that's on TV where you hit a home run?
Just because, everyone sees these games, and yeah, if you're successful in these games, it's just a testament of the hard work that you've put in each day. The game should be easy if you've put in the right amount of work and just work the right way. Hyder preaches on it every single day, is to not just the days that we're not playing, don't just, oh, it's an off day, I'm not in the game. No, he wants us out there getting our work, and kind of something that I was able to do last year at the alternate site, just putting in a lot of work with those guys, and then going into a game so you get to kind of see the results right away when we were doing our early work and then our games. But that's kind of how I'm treating this. Spring training is the days that I'm working and not playing in the game, I go out there, work, and then the test is the game, and it should be easy if I've done my work the correct way.
Joe Trezza, go ahead.
DJ, just to follow up on the 2 strike stuff, are you doing anything physically different? Are you widening out or choking up or anything like that, or is it mostly just approach based?
I choke up a little bit. There's sometimes I choke up even without 2 strikes. It wasn't really a thing that early in my career I was really big on, choking up, but it's kind of something that I've worked on. And there's some days that it just feels good. Like you go into BP, we have our 2 strike rounds in BP, and it might just feel good that day. So sometimes I'll do it with even without 2 strikes. It just depends on how I'm feeling.
You can go ahead.
Hey, Keegan, how's this camp differing for you from ones in the past?
I would say, obviously with the COVID protocols and stuff, it's literally get in, get out. Really no sitting around. It's pretty tight on a time frame. So it's just a little unique. I'm used to being at the field for a few hours a day, but now it's, like I said, get in, get out, and get your work done.
Dan Connolly, you're up.
Hey, Keegan, I know you say the COVID protocols, maybe it changes a little bit, but this time last year, John Means was saying that you and he had some conversations where you were kind of, asking him about the difference in minors and majors and preparation and things of that nature. Are you now having those conversations with guys like Bauman and Lowther and guys like that?
Yeah, yep. It's pretty cool because, John, I got to talk to John like that. And I played with him since I was in AA. So for me to kind of mentor those guys, like Lowther and Ballman and even Wells when he was over here for a little bit, Alex Wells. But, I've known those guys for a while. So it's just, if they got questions, they kind of come to me. If I don't know, it kind of just goes up the totem pole, up to John and go from there.
Rich Dubroff, you're up.
Hey, Keegan, how are you different as a pitcher this year as opposed to last spring training, considering that you had those big league starts at the end of the year?
I would say last year, I was just trying to be in my first big league camp. I was more so just trying to get my feet wet, get the feel for things. Now, after I had a few innings last year in the big leagues and a couple starts, you kind of get the idea of what you need to work on. And you take that into the off season, and then you just come into spring training and compete and hope at the end of the 6 weeks, you got a job and you're heading north with the team.
John Mioli, you're up.
Keegan, as you unpacked last season, when you went home and at the end of September, what types of things did you feel like you needed to work on, and how were you able to address those?
I always say consistency. I had some really good outings where I got pretty far into the game last year, and then I had outings, I was knocked out pretty early. So consistency is kind of been the key word. And then, you start looking at other things, what's going to help you be consistent. In my opinion, it's competing in the strike zone with all my pitches rather than just one or two, and just trying to get ahead of hitters. When you're ahead of hitters, it's a lot easier to pitch, in my opinion.
Rich with a follow-up.
Yeah, in your answer to Rock's question, you talked about, how it's just getting in and getting out, and your time there is limited. Has that made it more difficult to get to know guys like Felix Hernandez and Matt Harvey?
Yeah, for sure. If I'm on a different schedule that day, say like today I got a bullpen, and they don't have bullpen. So I'll see them in the locker room, but when we go outside and do things, we're probably on different fields. I'm off doing my own thing. They're off doing their own thing. Where before, last year, in years past, everybody's kind of one big group. You're all going through things together. This year, it's just split up. It's a little different, even getting to know some of the new guys in camp is pretty tough. You got to, we're supposed to be the social distancing and stuff in the clubhouse. And so it's pretty hard to go sit around somebody's locker and get to know them or talk to them. It's just kind of keep your distance, get your work in and go from there.
Mark Viviano, you're up.
Hey, Keegan, you mentioned of the 8 appearances you had last year, you had some that were real good and some that weren't so good. I'm just wondering for you, do you learn more from success or are you motivated more by failure? Is there one that sticks out more to you in terms of those games?
I would say definitely motivated more by failure. I think everybody in the clubhouse could say you're obviously going to be the hardest on yourself and hold yourself to a higher standard than most people. So it's tough when those outings happen, but you usually can learn a little bit more from those outings than you can from the ones that you go out there and mow them down.
John Mioli, you're up.
Keegan, given all this stuff about the schedule, who is in your throwing group and who's been impressive to you so far this spring?
From the guys, I actually Matt Harvey threw the other day on a backfield, just kind of like a 2-inning sim game, I think it was, and he looked really good. Felix has looked good in his bullpens. Obviously, it's good to see Wade LeBlanc back and healthy. I think we've all, I guess all the pitchers of so far that I've seen have had pretty good outings or bullpens and stuff like that. So it should be interesting. There's a lot of arms, a lot of good arms in camp. So a lot of competition going around.
Steve Molesky, if you want to lead us off, you can go ahead.
Just want to get some general thoughts from Jorge on the outing overall, getting 2 innings in and how he felt about all of it.
I feel really good. First of all, I want to thank first God and the Orioles to just give me the opportunity another year. And today was, little bit of everything. I had a pretty long first outing where I had to battle with all the pitches. Try to get my arm shape, try to get on my rhythm timing right where I want to. I think that's the most important thing right now, to just be healthy and try to location every single pitch on where I should be go. I think my mechanics it's been really simple. Try to get that. It's been worked really good. That's one thing I was focused on the whole off season, and it was good to be back on the mound and with the fans again back. It was so much motivating to be there and be back.
Rich Dubroff, you're up next.
Jorge, there are a lot of pitchers in camp competing for a starting spot. How difficult do you think it's going to be to get a spot, not only on the rotation, but on the pitching staff?
I mean, everybody have the same, purpose to be here. And, I look on the way where when I was a young and tried to compete with a spot on my first couple time on spring training, and just try to take day by day. Is a lot of good arms on Baltimore's, and it's awesome, being around them and with the veterans and young guys. Try to keep my eyes open, my ear open to anything they have. So it's really a bless to just be here and do the same job they have to do. And like I say, it's day by day. We all know it's really hard to just get out there and take guys out and work hard every day. That's the mentality. I try to do every other day, and that's my explanation of just go out there and not think about on anything. Just thankful to be the opportunity to be there and do my job.
Jeff Arnold, you're up next.
Hey, Jorge. You mentioned you were working on some things with your mechanics. Can you mention kind of what those specific things are, and maybe just some other things you're focusing on with your delivery and your pitch mix?
Yes. When I got claimed, you can see I was different guy when I take outing by outing. We talk a lot when we Holty and Brookels when he was here, and Holmes what was the way I can make mechanic better simple and just to keep repeating every day. It's been a lot of helpful for me to just simplify what they brought me, and it's a bless. Like I say, it's on me to just go out there and execute it every single pitch and feel more strong, more in connection, and it's been grateful.
Joe Trezza, you're up.
Jorge, I don't think we've had a chance to ask you this, but
sorry.
How's this? Is this better?
Yes, thanks.
Sorry. Well, we didn't have a chance to ask you this yet. But what was your off season like, and was your training any different this winter compared to winters in the past?
Yes. When I got here, like I say, I started doing more stuff with the pliables, get on the routine, where I have to improve my mind to just keep repeating, just connect with those little things I didn't have it on my mind, and just every day just keep repeating through my mind to just when I go to the mound, doesn't have to thinking about it. It's couple exercise hold the show me, and it's keep me better. It keep me better strong. That's what I felt, and when I see it from my arm point, it doesn't have that stress on my body like I used to have every time, and just every day it was a little bit different like the other years. I just was going out there and try to play catch and go work out, and now I just have one routine to just keep my mind on what I should be thinking about when I get there.